What's up, Brochacho? It's your boy Tanner Wyman of Barbarian Body. In today's video, we're doing something actually a little bit more different. Today, I wanted to take you guys, my subscribers, behind the scenes of how I created Barbarian Body. I thought I'd give you guys a glimpse into what it was that became what it is today, if that makes sense. I kind of just want to let you guys know where it all started, where I started from, the purpose of the business, the purpose of the channel, the direction that it's heading. I want to show this all to you guys and explain it all to you guys because I feel like you guys deserve to know a little bit more about it, because I know a lot of you guys are curious. You guys have asked me some questions. You guys wanted to see some draw my life type of videos. You guys like it when I get in depth and explain these things. So let's get into it. I'm going to start right from the very beginning of the story of beginning Barbarian Body. So I've wanted to build a fitness business ever since I was in about the 11th grade. It's always been a goal of mine. Since that point, I came up with numerous ideas of websites and fitness apps and apparel lines, and I've written out hundreds and hundreds of pages of ideas and designs and blueprints of all these ideas that I want to do. I spent a ton of time putting these things, but it went poorly because I was trying to go into a million directions at once. I wanted to have such high ambitions for this huge fitness business. And eventually that led me to just burn out. I spent so much time on each little project that none of them actually manifested into anything. I tried to do so many things at once, I could never actually get any of them off of the ground. So after my inspiration kind of gave out and all my ideas, I was kind of like, I don't know if I can do this, and I had enough people come up to me and say, that's not possible, you can't do that, you can't do this. I kind of actually gave up, and I gave up for about 1.5 years. And in that 1.5 years, I just got into a party lifestyle. 3, 4, 5 times a week, sometimes I would just go out and drink and party, and I kind of forgot entirely about my fitness business. And even at that point, I wasn't even exercising at all. It was just drinking and hanging out. And I completely just abandoned my little fitness business dream. So after that was going on for about 1.5 years, I had to get back into my real life. I think I was about 21 at this point, and I realized I had to get a real job. So I tried to get numerous jobs, and I really mean numerous. I've had jobs at Tim Hortons, at McDonald's, at like a Mr. Lube, at grocery stores. None of them ever lasted. I hated it. And that's when I realized I was not going to actually be able to do a 9-to-5 type of job. So then I had to go back to my original idea of, let's start a fitness business. That's gonna be the only way if I'm my own boss. So in an attempt to do this, I looked around for a bunch of start your own business type of programs in the city's entrepreneurship type programs, and eventually I found one. And with this program, I was gonna be able to get some funding through the city, and you were gonna get like $650 a month. It was really, really a little amount of money. And you'd be going through this course where you'd have some entrepreneurship type teachers, and you'd be in the class with a bunch of other people. So that's what I did. I did that for about 2 months, I think. Now in that 2-month period, you had to come up with a business plan, you had to come up with ideas for funding, what product you were gonna have, and at that time I was still really unsure of where I really wanted to head, or what my plan could be, and it was like supposed to be some 20 to 50 page business plan, and I am not good with that stuff. Financing, planning all that stuff out, I didn't do very well. And then after 2 months, I was called into a meeting and they told me I would not be allowed to be in the program anymore. I was gonna get cut off from all the funding, and I would probably not become a business owner or an entrepreneur, which really did suck. So they kicked me out, and I remember being so pissed because they said I would never be able to do it. And I didn't have what was cut out because I didn't meet their criteria of coming up with a business plan and finances beforehand, when I really didn't even know what type of business I'd wanted to get into at that point. So it was really at that point when I'd really gotten serious. First I was kind of dabbling, and I was kind of in the program, and I was gonna go, I might be able to figure it out, but I really started to take it seriously after they cut me from that. I used that as my motivation. I said, you know what, I'm never gonna let them be right about this. And that was the moment that I actually decided to get serious with my business. So my first business I ever launched was named FitFast, and it was actually a women's fitness business that I was gonna make. I was inspired by a few different fitness brands, and it just kind of felt like that was gonna be where the biggest amount of business was gonna be, because it was like a girl's niche. So I looked up to these 2 fitness entrepreneurs. One of them were Karina and Katrina from ToneItUp.com, and another one was, what was her name? One of them's name was Ashy Bynes from like the Bikini Body Guide. I think I got that right. But those were 2 businesses I looked up to, and I said, there's a big opportunity for me here. Maybe I can try. Look at me. Do you know how ridiculous that is for me to jump into a women's fitness? So that's what I started, and I just started putting out diet plans, and then I got into some like follow along home workouts. I kind of got the idea for that from actually Fitness Blender, and I started doing that, and I really put my head down and started to take that seriously. I was doing at least 40 hours a week trying to come up with all the ideas for it, piece it all together, but after about 8 months I realized okay, this really isn't working. Something needs to change. So then I realized, you know what, listen, I'm totally in the wrong niche. I need to create something that is more fitting for me. And that's when I actually created Barbarian Body. It was gonna be a men's fitness business that was gonna be geared towards guys like me. And what were those type of guys? These were the type of guys that weren't interested in bodybuilding. They weren't interested in super strict workout and diet plans. It was supposed to be a realistic approach to fitness for men. So the basis was I was gonna put out content weekly on YouTube. It was gonna be workout type of ideas and follow-along workouts made for men, and then nutrition advice as well. You know, my type of nutrition structure, not the way that everybody else does it, but you know, kind of in my own direction where it's kind of more freeing. You don't have to be super strict. And it was going to be geared for like the real life fitness person. And it is geared to it. All those things I just said when I used the word were, that's actually what it still is to this point right now. It was supposed to be real life fitness solutions for the real life guy who wanted to just get into pretty damn good shape. I mean, like this kind of shape, and not have to be a steroid user or like some bodybuilder or anything along that. It's supposed to be real life solutions for real life men. And the biggest thing that I wanted to do was differentiate from all these other men's fitness businesses out there. Most of the businesses that I was seeing, you guys on YouTube, I could tell, like everybody knows, they're all on steroids or they're all following some ridiculous like 6 days a week in the gym, sometimes 2-a-day training. I'm not into that. And that was how I wanted to be different from that. And I wanted to offer solutions for how you can get my type of physique for the everyday guy. Because I knew there was tons of guys that wanted to get into my physique. They didn't want to be looking like they were about to walk on a bodybuilding stage. They didn't want to be eating completely strict diets all the time. They didn't want to have to be in the gym like at all hours of the day. These were real people, and I knew that there was a market for that. And so that was who I was trying to target, because I felt like they were being a little bit neglected in the industry. And so that's partially the reason that I actually called it Barbarian Body, because in the times of the world when we had barbarians around, they were considered rogue outliers, and they weren't really a part of anything. And that's what I wanted Barbarian Body to symbolize. It was an outlier. It was something different. I wasn't a guy that had 5% body fat. I wasn't a guy that looked like I was about to walk out onto a bodybuilding stage. I wasn't a guy that did steroids. I was a guy that did practical things that I felt like a lot of these men's fitness industry or men's fitness businesses and YouTube channels were neglecting. Not to mention, I also feel like Barbarian Body actually matches my type of physique. It's pretty big, muscular. It's not extremely shredded, but we're pretty lean out here. I mean, a lot of people probably want to look in my type of shape, not in a cocky way, but I do know a lot of people want to get to this type of physique and they don't actually want to get to like shredded. So I felt like I symbolized and I looked like a barbarian, and it was also so that it could be a rogue outlier. Something a little bit more different and realistic for real men that wanted to get into shape. And so now here's where this thing comes into the role, my headband. This is supposed to signify, right from the very second you first see one of my videos, this red headband, that it is something totally unique and totally different from everything else in the fitness industry, especially on YouTube. That's what I get a lot. A lot of guys first come onto my videos and go, I dipped as soon as I saw the headband. And that's totally fine. I don't want those people. This is to signify differentiation from all these other fitness guys in the industry. I've chosen it to represent somebody who doesn't need drugs to get into crazy shape. Someone who doesn't even really use supplements at all. Doesn't waste their money on this marketing, which is the supplement industry, and can still achieve a pretty damn good physique. It symbolizes somebody that isn't always just living in the gym, but who is in the gym, kicks ass, and gets out without having to be a slave there. It symbolizes somebody who does not follow the strictest diets ever and actually gets to enjoy everything they eat at all times. Most importantly, it symbolizes somebody who gets to live a life outside of being consumed by fitness. Somebody who gets to enjoy life outside of a gym. Someone who gets to enjoy life outside of bland boiled chicken breast, egg whites, boiled broccoli, brown rice, outside of those things. Realistic. This is for guys who don't want to follow the strictest diet and live this OCD like bodybuilder lifestyle, counting all their macros and calories at all times and weighing out their protein and all their supplements and making sure they got all their pills and their bottles and stuff and they're taking this type of drug. This is not for those type of people. Barbarian Body is not for those OCD bodybuilders. And another aspect that this Barbarian Body is built upon is about somebody who's as charismatic as they possibly can be and isn't some boring as hell fitness guy who has no personality at all. I try and make this stuff as interesting and as funny and entertaining as I possibly can for all of my viewers, because most of these other YouTube channels and other fitness businesses are run by guys who really seem like they don't have a personality at all. They're extremely boring to watch, and I wanted to bring something new to the table. Something that was enjoyable to watch, but was still gonna give you guys a ton of value. As of this point right now, Barbarian Body has amassed, at the time of this recording, 33,000 individuals, people like you, who believe in the exact same thing. So with each passing week from this point on, I'll be aiming to do that, me and all 33,000 of you guys, to continue to solidify and build this large community of guys who all believe in the same thing. So thank you so much to all of you guys who are creating and helping me build this vision up. And let's see how great we can make this army, this community of real life guys looking for real life practical fitness solutions. So thank you to all of you whom I happily call my brochachos. So there you guys go. That's the ending of that message. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an idea of what I'm about and Barbarian Body's about, where it started from, where it's at now, and where it's going. Because I feel like you guys need to know these things in order to fully commit to the Barbarian Body lifestyle. Let's continue to build this community, as I said, and other than that, be sure to give your boy a like down below, and also be sure to subscribe for weekly workout tips and nutrition tips that you will not want to miss. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video.